What's up? What's up? We are live, ladies' night. What's going on? What's going on? Uh-oh. What y'all know about this? Y'all can hear it? And I will say, I don't own the rights to this music. What y'all know about this? I got my co-director in the building. Hi, handsome. Y'all better be sweating y'all, man. All the time. Right, babe? No, because you like to just share, copy and paste it, right? Because of the blurriness. Yeah, so okay. All right, all right. Let me jump right in. What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all see the pen in the back? I'm ready. Ready, Freddy. Let's tag some folks in the building. Let's tag some of my ladies. I know I got a few friends hopping on tonight. Some of my wives. I need, well, you should hop on. Check out this call. What's up? Facebook, Instagram. Make sure I'm sucked in if y'all can see this, I want to do something different tonight. So, XRP coming back. Let's get it. Y'all know we're about this bread. So I want to do something different tonight, and I got the green popping with the red. Baby, you don't like it? I didn't even ask you. I mean, that's cute. And then y'all don't want to see my pants. I got some like bright orange pants. So let's get started. Tonight's topic. Here, you want me to just hold it so it doesn't go into commercials and stuff, or is you gonna leave it? So, okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Tonight's topic, honestly, literally came. Y'all know I go with what I listen, right? I've been very obedient and listening, to what I hear, God tell me, or the Holy Spirit, or whatever shifts me, right? So this morning during our Bible challenge call, which you guys are all welcome, ladies, wives, hop on anytime. Am I live here? I'm not even live. Look at me silly. I'm not even live on that one. I was like, am I live? I wasn't even live on Instagram. What's up? What's up? We got marriage porn in the building. P.O.R.N. And as hubby likes to say it, pure, open, renew, navigate. So thanks, marriage porn, for hopping on. We're being live on here. So anyway, today's topic came from this morning. I was doing a Bible challenge. I've been doing it for 30 days. You guys have heard. I've been posting it up, and it's been about patience. And this morning, we were discussing, and happened to be the topic that one of the individuals that was participating, they mentioned, I'm learning patience a lot with my husband and letting him talk. And I was like, did she just talk to Brandon like at 5 o'clock this morning? Because it's so interesting this morning, and y'all know I keep it real with y'all. I'm very transparent. This actual morning, like it's in my journal, like this morning, 5 a.m. excuse me, my husband was talking to me about some things, and one of the things he was just talking and telling me, and I was like, well, what about this part, that part? And he was like, honestly, babe, I don't even want you to say anything back right now. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I can't. What do you mean you want me to say nothing back? And he was like, I just want you to listen. Like, I really want to just tell you some stuff. So I'm like, at first I kind of almost had the attitude. Y'all know how we do, ladies. Almost had the attitude. And I remember patience, and I said, you know what? Let me just chill and, let me listen to him. Because how many of us wives, when our husbands either tell us like, be quiet, or let me talk, or like, listen, we get so frustrated that we want a response. We want a rebuttal. And that's not being patient with your spouse. You know what I'm saying? That's not understanding. That's not even having empathy towards your spouse. So when he told me, babe, I just want you to listen, I really heard him out. And I was like, you know what? just chill, Jen. Like, just see what your husband want to say, see what he's saying. Even though the funny thing is, even though I wanted to say something positive, well, once the first time when I did interrupt, I was like, well, you talking about this? Y'all know how we do, ladies. I was like, you talking about this? And he was like, I wasn't, but if you want to talk about it and bring it up, then whatever. So that was the one, like, I should have kind of just chilled. But then the second time, I was like, babe, it's something positive I want to say. And he was like, no. Like, no, I just want you to listen. I really just want you to listen in and hear me out. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me be the obedient wife. Let me be the submissive wife and just chill. And I was like, okay, and I heard him out. And it was difficult because I'm so used to the response, the rebuttal, at times even the argument. Like, let's be real, or even I have something to say. Well, what about this? What about that? Hey, girl. Hey, thanks for chiming in. What's up? What's up? I got some ladies on the line. What's up, ladies? Please chime in. Please chime in. Any comments, thoughts, concerns? Definitely, I'm open, all ears. So when Brandon said this, I was like, okay, let me just listen, see, whatever. So boom, let's go back into my Bible time with my group, which you guys are all welcome. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm doing my challenge every day, reading Bible verses. And this person said this, like, I'm really learning patience, through my husband and really listening to him and hearing him out and understanding. And I literally was like, yo, did Brandon call you this morning on his way to work or something? Like, did y'all talk? Did y'all just finish talking? Because he literally just said this to me, this, like, literally like an hour ago. And she was laughing. She was like, no, I'm just learning to be more obedient and just hearing my husband out. And a lot of women, and this is what was stated, I didn't say this, but a lot of women, wives, do not allow their husband to speak. So as she kept going and as I got into it, my husband was on the line too because he chimes in with us on our Bible talk, Bible studying and stuff. And he mentioned, like, wow, like, so many women need to get this gem and understand a highly important role as a wife and woman is to listen. Just listen. Sometimes we're talking too much. Sometimes we don't even hear them talking. We're just hearing ourselves, right? So that's how I got to tonight's topic. I was like, boom, I'm talking about that tonight with my ladies. Where y'all at, wives? Where y'all at, ladies? Even if you're not married, like, as a female, if you had a spouse or if you have a boyfriend or fiance or whatever, we all need to understand this principle, especially going to become a wife. Understand the principle of listening to your spouse. Are you letting that man talk? Do y'all let your husband talk? Or is it always just, you don't do this, you can't do this, you come over here, how about this, I want this, I need this, the kids this, the boys this, the neighbor this, and next thing you know, they just block us out because we know how that goes. And we're wondering, like, why are you not listening to me? And it's like, girl, because you have not listened to him at all. Like, has he even been able to comment back? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you ask them, like, oh, how you think this looks? And they look and you're like, oh, you can't say nothing? And it's like, Jen, give the brother 5 minutes. So one of the things that I wrote down for tonight, I have 5 points. And one of my points is, like I'm saying, are you letting him talk? Or is it just you always talking? Is it always you? Are you having the patience to stay quiet and be attentive to your spouse? And you guys, if y'all been following me the last week or so, or 2, I've been going back into a lot of what certain things mean. And going into patience is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay. Right? So tolerate. First of all, tolerate is huge because that's accepting, that's allowing, that's being okay with, right? Delay. Patience. You have to be okay with letting your husband talk. You have to allow your husband to talk. Patience. And listen, guys, I could get so deep with patience because I have been going 14 or 13 days strong reading Bible scriptures on patience. And I'm learning so much wisdom on patience. Just patience. Just wait, chill, relax. And one of the biggest key factors on patience, I read one of the things I looked up. It said tolerating delay, right? We read that. But then it says with a good attitude. So, ladies, wives, mainly my wives, but for ladies, of course, do you sit back and tolerate, allow your husband to talk, and you're okay with the delay of you having a response? Are you being attentive to his conversation? Or, because we know how it is, ladies, we know they'd be like, well, they start talking, and then this is what was happening to me. I would, in the back of my mind, and y'all know I always keep it real with y'all. In the back of my mind, I used to be like, oh, he needs to hurry up because I really want to tell him this. He needs to like stop because I want to say this, and he doesn't understand, and he's not listening to me. And then I'm thinking all stuff, and he's talking, and I'm not being attentive to what he's even saying to me. Y'all ladies, we know what that is because they do it to us. They shouldn't. They shouldn't do it to us, but they do. How many times have y'all said something to y'all kids, right? Let's go with kids. Even let's husband, right? Let's do husband too. Don't play yourself. But tell the kids something. Or tell the husband something. And then a week later they ask you something and you be like, babe, I told you this. You don't remember me telling you? No, maybe I forgot. No, you just wasn't listening to me. So listening, it goes both ways in the marriage. Honestly, it's 100. Listening to your spouse, right? The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, right? Are you being attentive to your husband as he's talking? Now let's look up attentive, right? Let's listen. Y'all listen. Students are learning. Attentive, it's a big deal because if you're not attentive, you're not paying attention. So you're just sitting there, not listening. You're just hearing. Remember, there's a difference between hearing and listening. Attentive is paying close attention to something. Paying close attention. So we want our husbands to be attentive to us when we're talking. But then when they're talking, we're so caught up in the mind on so much things. What we got to do, what we got to say, what are we thinking? He's not listening. He's this, he's that. So it's like, yo, slow down, right? That was one of my points that I wanted to really talk about. And then, how often are you letting him talk? Because I know some of y'all ladies, I know most of us are like, but my husband doesn't like to talk about things. But my husband doesn't want to sit down and talk. But my husband this. But he don't listen. But he's not this. But he's not that. And it's like, well, maybe it's because you're not letting him do the talking that he wants to do. So now he just sit back like, okay, wifey, what you gotta say? What you saying tonight? They done lost that, right? So one of the biggest things, and I wrote it on here, is when they're ready, when they're talking, let them talk. I have it as my number 4. When he talks, let him talk. And there's been times that I've asked Brandon, like I've literally been like, okay, babe, can I say something? And I did that this morning. He was like, no. Because there's going to be times that your husband, just wants you to listen. Just listen. Just listen, right? And one of my things was like, even this morning when I wanted to be like, babe, even if it's positive, I can't tell you. He was like, no. I was like, what? Not even something positive I can't tell you? But guess what I did? Ladies, take some notes. So I didn't say nothing. I was like, okay, cool. And I let him kind of just like spill the beans, like just let it out, what was on his mind. And when this was happening, he said, and this is what I wrote in my notes, This is when the man can be having self-talk with himself, self-talk, right? But wants you to hear on what he is trying to do, or what he needs, what he's going to do. And at first I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, babe, I'm kind of telling you this, but it's kind of like I'm self-talking to myself. So I don't want you to say nothing. Just listen. It's like, Brandon, this is what I'm doing. Brandon is this. Brandon this, Brandon that. But talking to me, telling me what's inside, what he's feeling. Because we know, ladies, as serious as this may be, emotions for men are difficult. Communication for men can be difficult. They might not know how to express as much as we do. They might not know how to, tell us a way that is nice. They might say some things that just way offhand, and you're like, yo, that was kind of rude, right? So when they're talking, let them. Let them. Let them. Now, granted, there's a couple times that I have to be like, babe, hold up. Before I forget, boom. But if he specifically tells you, for my wives out here, let me finish. I want to talk. I don't need you to respond. I want y'all not to take it as a rude, disrespectful, messed up scenario. I want y'all just to sit back, have patience, remember, tolerating delay, and listen to your spouse. What does listen mean? Give one's attention to a sound, an act of listening to something. Words that are similar is here. Pay attention, be attentive, attend, concentrate on. So when your husband says, babe, I just want you to listen, it's, babe, I just really want you to concentrate on what I'm saying. Concentrate. So just focus on what I'm saying. Not focus on my end of sentence so you can talk next. Take note. And I got all this morning from him, from, my girlfriend that was going in, because that's something she's working with, and it's like a lot of women struggle with this, but we're not talking about it. So here I go. Ladies on, wives, let your man talk. Just listen. Have that, let him feel that understanding that you're listening. What's listening? Focus, concentrate, be attentive. When he says, I just want you to listen. Is he saying, in other words, wife, just be attentive to what I am telling you, how I feel, how I'm expressing myself, how I'm going to do this, how I'm working on that, what I'm thinking. Because we all know, y'all know, ladies, that we want our husbands to tell us. Well, I do. I want my husband to tell me, yo, what you thinking, what you feeling, what you saying, what you seeing, I want it all. I tell Brandon, tell me, babe, what's up? But if he feels like you're not listening, like you're not being attentive, like you're not being, what's the other word? Concentrating on what he's saying, why is he going to keep telling you and you're not listening? Like, I promise y'all, there's times I'll be on the phone, and this is when I don't have a rebuttal, right? That Brandon's talking, he's saying something, right? He'll be talking, I'll be listening, right? And I just be like, yeah, babe. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Like, but I sound like I'm being dramatic with y'all right now, but I'm not. Like, when I'm on the phone with him, I'm literally listening. And lots of times we're doing face video call. So he sees, y'all don't have to do this, but we do. He sees me, my reaction. So I can't just be like, here he goes again, trying to tell me something at the job, or, I can't, no, because babe, you listening? Babe, you paying attention? Babe, and it's also being respectful. Like, us women, when we're feeling some kind of way, when y'all sad, hurt, depressed, angry, whatever, or even happy, and you want to go and talk to your spouse, you want him to listen, right? You want him to be attentive. You want him to concentrate. So why not give that the same to him? Because for us wives, we're always known as the talker. We're known as the one that does this. I remember when I used to date Brandon, even marriage at the beginning, he was like, yo, don't be that nagging wife. Don't be the and he's not even saying a word. He's just sitting on the couch. Then you're walking by. Like, no. That can really fail a marriage. Like, for real, it really can. Because what happens is, now all you do is talk. And then it leads into complaint eventually. And he's not even saying a word. So now he's shutting down. Now he's blocking scenarios. Now the communication is loosening, it's going bye-bye. And now you're in a marriage by yourself, talking to yourself. How does that feel? Right? So the other thing I put is, which I just said this, just listen and have no response. No response. At times, they want an ear to listen. That's really the point. Like, really, all the main thing I got from Brandon this morning was when he said to me, because I was like, babe, I can't say nothing. He was like, no, just listen. That's literally what he said. No, babe, just listen. Like, I don't want you to say nothing. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so mean. But it really wasn't. Right? Let things, listen and let things out. So let him let it out. Let him let it out. He might be talking to you about something you asked him about 3 months ago, but he never got to respond because you was always talking. Oh, the funny part this morning when this was discussed in the chat, this person mentioned that the husband was like, this is funny, guys, but it's not. That the husband said to her, if it, she mentioned, what was it? That he was like, I think your word count for the day is done. Can you guys imagine? He said, I think your word count for the day is done. That was an implication like, yo, you've been talking too much. Hush your mouth, quiet, let me talk, or let's not talk at all. Right? Let me look up average words a man uses in a day versus a woman. Let's see if this comes up. Okay. Bam. This is amazing. I should have did this earlier and I should have posted it. The average woman uses 20,000 words per day. If anybody in the chat, if anybody on my lives, if y'all could comment and post how many words you think a husband uses a day, you get a gift card on me and my husband to a restaurant to go on a date night. I'm giving people on like a few minutes to comment. And as a matter of fact, I might put this on my page and I'm not even going to tell y'all tonight the answer. That's what's about to happen. I'm giving y'all half of it. This just came to mind. I'm giving you half. 20,000 words per day a woman uses. So for the person that you have until, well, you can't, you have right now. I'm just going to say that you have right now. And I'm going to post this. I'm going to ask on my Facebook and whoever answers. If it's valid, now I don't want no tricks and none of that nonsense happening. So the third point, when it goes back to listen and let him talk, I put on here, like, we're quick to answer. We're quick to rebuttal. We're quick to argue. Like, let's not. As a matter of fact, so what I did do, because, I told you, I said one thing, and he was like, no, we're not really talking about that. Just listen. When I was like, even if it's positive, he was like, no. So I just let him talk all about. So what I did do, for my ladies, what I did do is about an hour later, maybe 30 minutes, when he was at work, I text him, and I was like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm just grateful for you, and you're great. That's it. And he, called me and was like, thank you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I was trying to tell you that earlier, but you told me I had to be quiet and listen. So, it's still a work in progress. It's still a work, it's still a journey. You know what I'm saying? But it was great. And it was all meant to be how it happened. I listened. He was able to tell me. He was able to open up. And it was great. The other thing is, let me tell my mother I'm on Facebook, guys. She's asking me if I'm busy. The other thing is, maybe us as wives, ladies, spouses, don't know how our husband feels because we don't even allow him that time to talk and to tell us how he's feeling. And the reason why I say this part, and I thought about it when I was in the Bible things this morning, was because someone mentioned in the group that the spouse mentioned, like, man, I've been feeling A, B, and C for months, but because you never gave me the opportunity, the patience, remember the delay, the tolerance, the time to allow myself to talk, I never got to tell you I was feeling A, B, and C. So you would just be the one talking, and I never got to say, well, my feelings. For example, like, you're upset, we're not talking, we're not doing date now, we're not communicating, we're not this, we're not that, whatever. But yet, let me fix this. But yet, when I want to be like, well, why don't we, let me finish. But how about we don't? So then months, this person told us, the spouse went months without telling her. And he was like, I finally got to tell you all these things because you're learning to listen and to not talk. So when I heard this morning, I was like, wow, how many conversations, for my wives out here, how many conversations have we had? How many have we had when we're talking and we're saying something, a dilemma, a situation, a problem, a concern? We're talking. Or even if we're just telling the day, we're talking and talking and talking. Now, have you stopped and said, you know what, babe? How's your day? I'm telling you about the kids, the this, the that, the mom, the sister, the neighbor, the groceries, the this, I'm telling you all my day. I'm going in about me, and I'm not even like, wait, how's your day? How are you feeling? What do you think? And then, ladies, wives, when we're asking, be quiet and listen. And I will say, sometimes as a wife, as their partner, as their helper, we can help them to say certain things or to delegate certain things, right? So for example, y'all know I use me. Very real with it. Like, I'll let Brandon say something, but what do you think about this? And he'll say something. And I look at him like, damn, babe, that message could have been a little bit nicer. You don't think that could have been a little nicer? That was a little rough. And I'm grateful that I have thick skin, right? I will cut somebody up real quick, right? No, sir. Plain, that's the only is the near me, right? But I'm grateful I have thick skin because I could take what he tells me, but at the same time, I'm still a female. Like, I still have feelings, and I'm like, dang, babe, like, can you say that? And literally, we have been practicing for both of us, not just him. We've been practicing. When I feel like that harsh, like, he's telling me something, I like look at him and I'm like, how can we deliver that a little bit better? Can we say that over? Like, rewind. How can we say this? And lots of times Brandon will be like, how do I say it? And like, how do you want me to say it? And of course, I help him sometimes, like, well, maybe we should have said it this, but then I'm also letting him figure some things out too. Like, come on, we also got to let them do it. So I was like, well, how do you think you could have maybe said you didn't like the top or something? Instead of saying, oh, that looks a little tight. How do you think you could have said that, babe? And then he'll think and he'll be like, well, maybe I could have, said this part of that. And I'm like, okay, great. That was great. That was way better. Like, you know what, babe? You look a little bit better with the purple than the green. Versus, no, that's not cute. Nope, ugly, don't like it. And it's like you see the difference, the deliverance, the messenger. So now I'm up to more listening. Now I'm okay with listening more of what he has to say, because depending on the delivery part, right? It's very important. Then we go into maybe we don't know because we're not allowing him to express himself, right? A little bit. You want to put the arrow? Then it says we talked about the self-talk time. We talk about letting him express himself. Like for us, we like to do weekly kind of like analysis on our marriage. We got to get a little bit better on it. We haven't done it as much. But we like to do like a weekly thing that it'll be like, hey, how am I doing as a spouse? Hey, how did I do with this? Or hey, do you need work with that? Do you need help with this? I feel like it's needed. I feel, and I think we might do a topic about that, like as a marriage talk. I'm gonna write it down. Y'all know I do my notes. Huh, babe? Evaluation. Yeah, marriage talk, weekly. I guess evals maybe, or what? At least once a month. At least once a month. No, I think weekly. Like you should check in at least minimum. And you know what I mean by that is I'm not saying like sit down and you gotta get all crazy with it, but it's important to sit down as a couple. Can I get something? It's important to sit down as a couple and really analyze, like, hey, how are things? Like, when is the last time, ladies? And you don't have to respond. I got some of you chiming in. What's up? What's up? What's up? When is the last time, ladies, that you've asked your husband, how am I doing as a wife? Do I listen? I gotta ask you that. I haven't asked Brandon as much as that. Do I listen? Do I hear you out? Do I allow you to talk? Do I gotta shut up more? Like, for real, just shut up. Ladies, just shut it. Just sip it. Let him talk. Because, they don't talk as much. So when they talk, let them talk. Like, sometimes Brandon, he goes on and on. I be like, babe, are you done? Like, you still talking? But he gets in his zone. And I love it. I let him. But sometimes I gotta, quick reminder. Like, okay, babe. Like, we going to bed? Are we going to bed? What are we doing? Or if I'm trying to, like, get other things. Like, okay, we're trying to, like, go to the next level. We're done with that. Let's go. And then the last thing that I put on here, and then we're going to wrap this up, is not just about you. It's not just about me. And this is hard. I'm an only child. I did grow up with, like, my cousin that's like my sister and blah, blah. But Brandon swears it's not the same. I do. We grew up in the same house. We were raised by our grandparents together. We didn't have fathers. Like, it was really like a sister thing. But he swears it's like, no, not the same. But I do, because brothers live together, have the same parents, shower. Or, we did all that connection, up until I went to high school, because I moved and stuff. So the single child thing is kind of like hit or miss with me. But it's not just about you, wives. It's not just about us. Because if it was just about us, we wouldn't have a husband. We would be single. I will be a single parent, a single mom. Do I want that? No. So I need to be, or I should be, more listening. It's not just about me. If something happened and you guys got into an argument, it's not just about you. I'm angry. I'm upset. I don't like this. And this is me working on it. I. And it's like, wait a minute. Did you stop and consider your husband? I'm upset. Okay, well, how's he feeling? But you're not going to think about that because you're so upset. So this is the reminder for my ladies to stop and really think and have that patience and really figure out, like, okay, if I'm upset, how's my husband doing? Like, I'll ask Brandon, like, do you even care? I straight up ask him, do you even care what I'm saying? Do you even care how I'm feeling? He'll be like, yeah, But do I ever sit back and be like, hey, babe, how you feeling? Lots of times I don't. I'm working on it. I've been getting a little better. But most of the time it's just like me, 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 me. So now I'm learning a lot more to be like, hey, babe, what do you think? Hey, how do you feel? Because when you ask the husband, wives, that usually comes with a response. So we gotta just be quiet. So if we're like, oh, how you feeling today? Well, it was at work. Well, I don't even know why. And it's like, what? You didn't even let him finish the sentence. Or he might finish, but then you jump in. And it's like, well, he didn't even to tell you like what happened with the coworker because you kept talking. And then 3 days later, you find out what happened with the coworker. And you're like, why you didn't tell me? It's like, well, I was trying, but you kept, they don't say this, but they try, but you kept talking. You didn't be quiet. So chime in. I got people chiming in. I got people getting on. Tell me how y'all feel, what y'all think.
Sometimes it takes us a little bit of time to get.
So I'm glad. Yeah, you guys remember earlier I mentioned that it takes them time to like understand, explain this and that with words. That's a big deal for guys. It might. So what took me one sentence might take Brandon three. I promise y'all. I swear it's the wiring that God made him. There's something there that is not there, that to them trying to tell us one thing takes a paragraph. And it's like, babe, you could have just told me this. And it's like, oh, well, I didn't know how to say that. I'm like, well, but then let's look at the flip side. When they do just say one thing and it's harsh and intense and brutal, you're like, yo, what happened? Like, I'm not your homeboy. I'm your wife. Can you talk to me a little better? So think about it. Like, you want him to tell you, but then you want him not to tell you as intense. So now you have to meet in the middle. So now we're helping, we're teaching. Okay, babe, maybe you should express that this way, and maybe talk to me. I told him like a flower. He discussed this the other day. Like a gentle flower, like express it in a better way. You don't have to get so aggressive. Talk to me better. Talk to me more. Would you talk to if we ever had a daughter, like would you talk to her in that manner of explaining this? No. Okay, well then let's do that with me too. And you have to have these conversations with your spouse. If y'all not having these type of conversations, there's a reason why certain things happen. There's a reason why certain factors are not progressing and why we're not doing better. We have to have these conversations. They're not easy. But the more you do them, the better and easier they become. The more communication, the more y'all understand to just be quiet. Right? What do y'all think? What's up? So tonight's topic was really, really an eye-opener on a lot of scenarios, especially where I heard, like literally, I was just so like in shock when my friend brought this similar scenario, and she was like, I really have to understand my spouse on when he's trying to talk to me, and I gotta get out the way and let him talk, and just listen. Just listen. There's no reason why, and I know something must have been some toes, but it is what it is. There's no reason why your husband is talking to his best friend about how he's feeling and not you at all. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong to have a best friend, but why does the best friend know how your husband is feeling and you don't? Especially if they're a female best friend, because that happens, which I don't know how cool that is, but that's not good. Or if they don't have anyone to communicate to. And they're not even coming to you about it because you're not allowing him to talk. The value of the man to talk is huge. The value of the man's words are very powerful. Like I've been learning the last couple of months with Brandon, some stuff he tells me, I just be like, man, that's so good. Why you ain't tell me this before? And it's like, because you wasn't letting me talk. You were always the one, and then this and that, and then let them talk. Just listen, ladies. Listen, listen, listen. So the word for the week, listen. Just listen. You're frustrated at your husband? Just listen. Tell him, hey, I'm frustrated. I'm not feeling good about this. And be quiet. Hey, you're not helping as much with the kids. I'm feeling stressed. And be quiet. And this is for me too. Don't think that I'm not doing this. Like, this is mainly for me. That's why I know how to talk about it. Because I don't want to be that nagging wife. The nagging wife pushes the husband away. I want my husband to come closer to me. I want him to be okay and comfortable, to feel like he can come and say and talk to me and I could be listening. It's kind of like your child. Like, they're not listening. Why even tell them? Why even? Why? For what? You just going to put him on timeout. So what do you think your husband do? He puts you on timeout. Like, you know what? She don't listen anyways. I'm going to go talk to my homie. She don't understand. She don't let me talk. Especially when it comes to finances. I need us to listen. I need us to listen and let him talk. Let him take the lead. Just be quiet. Like, one thing I want to ask, and this is funny, but I just thought about it. But if your husband was able to tell you to shut up, or be quiet, or shut the F up, how many times, and this is like, if he was to be like, let's say you had a day, one day, to be like, you know what, babe? Tell me as many times as you need. And I might try this. I just thought of it. I might try it. I don't know. He's over here smiling. I think he likes the idea. How many times? Like, there's no, I'm not saying be super disrespectful, nothing like that. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, if y'all did a challenge at the crib, at the house, with your spouse, and you said, babe, tomorrow, tell me as many times as you need to be quiet if I'm not letting you say something or talk or giving you opportunity to have an idea to mention or whatever the case may be. I guarantee y'all it will be fire. Like, you guys would have 199 be quiet in your house. Or shut up. Or probably really intense with an F-bomb in there. Like, today, hey, you said tomorrow's the challenge. You said today's the challenge. So shut up. And then you can't say nothing. And then you just gotta be like, all right. I want y'all to do this challenge, actually. I like this idea.
I'm not gonna shut them.
Women, ladies, the first thing, see what I'm saying? The first thing my husband said was, a lot of women are going to say, I'm not going to be quiet. Because why? We feel like it's a disrespect. We feel like it's so rude and so intense. And oh my gosh, how could he? I used to feel that way. But you also got to let your husband simmer down. I'm not saying let him disrespect you and be like, shut the F up. I'm not saying that. For all my people in the back, I'm not saying that. Because he can't politely just say, babe, I really don't want you to say nothing right now. Or, you know what, babe? I really want you to listen. So if you're doing this challenge, spouses, ladies, if y'all doing this challenge, please explain the rules to the husband. Please explain the rules. I don't want nobody calling me next week like, like, Jen, he done cursed me out because you told me to just listen and be quiet and you did it. No. Give the rules. No disrespect, nothing like that. But really, do the challenge for 24 hours. Have a pen and paper and write down how many times that he had to tell you, be quiet. Or, hey, babe, just listen. Nope, don't respond right now. Y'all don't understand how much that took me off the walls this morning. And if it wasn't for my patience with the last 13 days in the Bible, and if it wasn't for growth, when he was like, "Nope, don't respond," the CT would have came out real quick, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But I was like, all right, I can't even respond. Like, word, that's how you feeling? Like, you telling me all these things, and I can't even say one. I did slip in a comment. I told y'all I did. But then he was like, no, since you want to bring that up, he got upset. And I was like, okay, nope, not doing that. And then I just listened. I was like, nothing? Not even a nice comment? Nope. Sippo. Ladies, sippo. Sip. Nada. Do the challenge. Do the challenge. Some of y'all be mad. Some of y'all be mad he done told you the whole morning to be quiet. Some of y'all gonna be mad because you're gonna realize how much you're over dominating your husband and his words. Like, think about it. How crazy is this? We want him to lead, but we don't let him talk. That don't even make sense. You want to let him talk when it's beneficial for you. No. All the time. Like, when he's like talking, just, okay, cool, let me listen to what my husband got to say. What you got to say? What do you think about this? And let him talk. Don't be like, but what about this part? No, don't let him talk. But I think, no, let him talk. Let him respond. Like, I've asked Brandon a few times. I told y'all, I would be like, babe, can I say that now? Like, you still talking? Like, can I say? And he might say, no, not yet. It has to be okay to listen as a wife. Listen to your spouse. Listen, listen, listen. But anyways, that was all I have for tonight, guys. I forgot to mention at the beginning to let me know, put in the comments one thing that y'all grateful for. I forgot to mention that. Um, I'm grateful for these education on these markets that's happening right now. I'm grateful to be learning about these things. I'm grateful that we're getting educated and, get into this bag during this recession because it's about to get real. And really learning and different things that is going on and, making the money is pretty cool. So I'm grateful for that. Put in the comments what y'all grateful for. And besides that, really that kind of concludes tonight's call. I appreciate it. Share. Go to our YouTube, Barker Family. We're going to post it up. Like, subscribe. Put the alerts so when we do come on, you get us. Share with your girlfriends. Next Thursday night. I don't know what we're going to discuss, but we're going to get into something pretty good, pretty juicy, like always. I appreciate y'all. Let's close out with a quick prayer and we're good to go. So, thank you, Father God, for bringing us here tonight. Thank you for all the ladies hopping on, the women that, if any wife needs assistance with this matter, that we're able to, pray and lift her up and cover her. Lord, thank you for today, that we have a blessed day tomorrow, productive, and that for those doing the challenge, it works out amazingly and it's marvelous, and that everything goes good. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. 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 Thank y'all for hopping on. Appreciate y'all. Have a blessed one.